Stuart, I'll just be back in a minute. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll give another minute for everybody to join. So if you're joining, please let us know where you're from. Hold on a second here. Let me upload. All right. So I had to recreate my configuration. All right, one moment. And hold on just a second. We'll be starting in a minute. Don't know why I'm having such difficulty this morning. There we go. All right, and we're just about to start.
Yeah. Back.
Yeah. And just waiting for a file to open here. How to stop. All right, and thank you so much for your patience, everyone. I want to take a quick look in the chat and see where everybody has told us we're from. And two. have somebody from New Jersey. Most everybody else is from around India. Hyderabad, Pune, Chandigarh, Mumbai. So wonderful. And welcome. Good evening for those of you who are in India. Good morning for those of you in North America. And my name is Stuart Creek. I'm with Simplilearn. I'm here with Dr. Purushottam Asudani, who is one of our senior instructors, and I'll let him introduce himself in a minute. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about the program we're doing today. We're going to talk about becoming a cloud computing expert through the postgraduate program from Caltech. And we'll be asking a couple of questions about you. We'll be telling you about cloud computing careers. We'll talk about how Caltech Center for Technology and Management Education can help you. We'll go over some learner outcomes from this program, and we'll talk about the enrollment steps, including a bonus that you get for attending this evening. So thank you for being here. I want to let you know about that toward the end of this session, and we'll take your questions as well. So, first off, how much experience do you have? Currently studying? Are you, and I'm going to put this into the poll here. Are you currently studying? Do you have just a few years of experience, or are you a seasoned professional at this point? Put your answers into the poll question. And I'll close this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the poll. So it's about half and half. About half of our audience are folks who are still studying, and half of our audience are people who are in the working world. So welcome, everyone. Move forward. Want to tell you a little bit about Simplilearn. We are the #1 online boot camp in the world. We've trained over 5 million professionals in 150 companies. And we specialize in digital skills, so we help people prepare and move ahead in the digital economy. A few of our awards are there, and we'd love to have you join us in the Simplilearn learning community, especially with Caltech. And I want to mention Dr. Asudani. I'll let you, Purushottam, introduce yourself to the audience.
Yeah, thank you, Stuart. So hello and welcome, everyone. Thanks, Stuart, for giving the opportunity. So my name is Dr. Purushottam Asudani, and I'm Assistant Professor in Information Technology Department in Sri Ramdev Baba College of Engineering and Management, Nagpur. I specialize in cloud computing, Microsoft Azure, AWS, and operating systems. I'm a Google Scholar, corporate trainer, Microsoft certified trainer, AWS certified trainer, 3 times certified on AWS, that is AWS certified architect professional, architect associate, and AWS certified practitioner. I'm a Microsoft Azure certified administrator as well, Oracle certified associate, and associated with Caltech University for delivering their postgraduate program in cloud computing, and with many IITs, IIT Kanpur, IIT Kharagpur, for delivering their master's program in cloud computing. Yeah, I have delivered multiple corporate trainings with multiple MNCs in and outside of India. So this is, and I have done my PhD in cloud computing in resource scheduling in cloud from VIT Vellore. So this is in short about me. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. So you're well positioned to discuss careers in cloud computing because you've had a long one. And so one of the things we say is that cloud's the backbone of the digital economy. Is that a fair description?
Absolutely. Because cloud is the backbone of digital economy, because see, it's like almost 90% of the companies will move towards cloud, like by 2025, they say. And not just the startups, even the well-established companies are into cloud or are moving into cloud. Yes, and so it is the backbone of digital economy because you even save a lot of money when you are into cloud, and that adds a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and I of course came up in the days of initially mainframe computing, then mini computers, the outset of the personal computer revolution many years ago, and even not that long ago, we were all operating our own web servers, and we had to deal with things like, what happens when the load demand just skyrockets on a particular day or after a particular event, and how do you deal with that? And then cloud computing came along, and suddenly you didn't have to operate your own infrastructure. You had the ability to do things like load balancing and bringing on more resources in an automatic way. So we say it's commoditized, the sharing, the computing resources, the distribution of information in a way that people didn't really anticipate 30 or 40 years ago, but today it's central to the operation of, as you said, almost any enterprise and government organizations and any size company that can leverage the cloud and not have to invest in a data center of its own. So the growth is incredible, isn't it?
Absolutely, the growth is incredible, and as you rightly said, that think about the growing business. So when the businesses are growing in their stature, so they can just concentrate on their core business. Like let's say take the example of Netflix. So Netflix is hosted on AWS, correct? So Netflix is just taking care of its core business, of that is the entertainment business, and the rest, the infrastructure is managed by the cloud provider. So because the infrastructure is managed by the provider, they can fully concentrate on their core business. Similarly, like take the example of Amazon, Flipkarts during, like in India, during their sale days, the traffic on them is huge. So at that time, more machines are added, and so horizontal auto scaling happens, and that happens in an automated fashion. And this is very easy. This is very much possible with the help of advent of cloud computing in nature. You don't have to maintain physical data centers. You don't have to manage them. So that's the beauty of cloud. Plus, you can create your machines in matter of minutes, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the clever things that Amazon does, because they're such a huge web provider, and in order to make sure that they have resources for their own e-commerce, they declare Prime Days so that they can create peak demand all for themselves on days where they know that their resources are all dedicated to themselves. So it's an interesting world we live in. And, one of the things is that you can pick, all you folks in the audience can pick different places in this world to become practitioners of this type of technology. So you can choose to be cloud engineer, cloud developer at sort of the basic level, but then got a lot of different paths you can take. What are some of these career paths, Purushottam?
Yeah, so great career paths actually. See, cloud is an ocean. So if somebody is thinking that maybe if I am an architect, only then cloud is meant for me, or if I'm a developer, is cloud meant for me? So cloud has space for everybody and anybody. If you are a developer, well, you can go to cloud and you can become a cloud developer, and then you have a lot of services available there, which helps you to make your development task pretty easier. Okay, so it supports almost all the languages also. And then, of course, if you are an enterprise architect, or otherwise, if you want to become an architect, so again, you have a role of cloud architect, which is in boom, in thing right now, correct? So you can be there, and initially you can start as a cloud engineer. And if you are in database side, cloud has an offering for not just relational databases, but it supports your non-SQL databases, relational databases, graph databases. There is a support for all different kinds of DBs, all different kinds of databases. So, because gone are the days when it was only the relational database that was good enough. Now you are in need of different types of data, NoSQL data. Like when you operate with Facebook, you have graph DBs working in. Okay, so cloud has a support for all these. Like Amazon has Amazon Neptune for graph DBs. Then you have DynamoDB for NoSQL DB, RDS for relational databases. Correct. So if you are a database administrator, or if you want to become a database administrator, well, you can very well be in a good place to be a cloud database administrator. Then again, cloud security engineer. So a lot of like when you talk about cloud, people are very wary about the security part, especially in the public cloud platforms. But let me tell you, public cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, Microsoft Azure, Amazon's AWS, they are the market leaders in the world. Okay, and they have got a lot of security measures to keep your data very secured. So they have a lot of mechanism of keeping the data secured. So there is a lot for the cloud security engineer in this field. And yes, you can be in this place. Then, of course, if you are a DevOps guy, because DevOps is the in thing, gone are the days of waterfall model when you used to build the complete project and you show it to your client, and then client would tell you to modify the entire thing. Now is the age of agile development, where you develop your products in project in parts and show it to the client. And when client approves, you develop the other part and then combine it to the previous part. So every time you have to do deployment, testing, and so this process has to be done for every small module. So then for that, you can just automate this process. You don't need any manual testers, or you don't need to deploy it manually every time. You can do it in an automated fashion with the help of creating a continuous integration, continuous development pipeline, deployment pipeline, with the help of DevOps tools in cloud as well. So it supports all those tools as well.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different options for people. The demand for people with these skills is just incredibly high, and it's growing, and the salaries are keeping up. So if you're a developer, the average salary in India is 10 lakh. If you're an architect, the average salary is 20 lakh. And the upper limits, are these fair upper limits, or have you seen higher numbers?
I see higher number than these, actually. For architect, I know my friends earning like 45 lakhs per annum. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yes, if you are on a senior architect level.
Yeah. So do you have the ability to set yourself on a career path where if you continue to gain experience and continue to upskill, you have a very, very high salary trajectory that you can look at. So that's a wonderful aspect of the sector. But to do that, you have to have a skill set that supports that, right?
Of course, yes. Otherwise, how can you do it?
Yeah. So you can tell us about some of these different aspects and how they work together, and why it's important to have like this kind of a broad range.
Yeah, correct. So you need to be up to date skills to be a cloud practitioner. Of course, see, cloud provider selection. So when you have to opt cloud, like when organizations go towards cloud, so which cloud platform they should choose, correct? So when it comes to public cloud platforms, they normally are into the like the market leaders, AWS, Azure. They are the first choices. And at times it doesn't happen like they just go with AWS or just Microsoft Azure. They choose some services from Azure, some services from AWS. Like AWS is the market leader as per the Gartner, that is the research organization. AWS is the market leader in the IAS Magic Quadrant, and Azure is the market leader in the PaaS quadrant, Platform as a Services quadrant. So companies use some resources from some cloud provider, the other from other cloud provider. So today is the era of multi-cloud actually. And so when it comes to multi-cloud, these market leaders like AWS, Azure, sometimes GCP, they are the first choices of any organization. Correct. So yeah, they think of, so when they select the provider, so they think of various factors: the security aspect, the availability aspect, how much their data would be available, what are the measures the provider is taking for making their data available, and of course the costing part of it as well. Yeah, so the more the like AWS or Azure, the more the big are the cloud providers, the more the profits they share with their customers, and that's why they can offer the services for very competitive prices than their competitors. Okay, so yeah, these all factors would be considered while the cloud provider is selected for any organization. Then application migration. So of course, if a company is in on-premises and wants to move towards cloud, so they will have to do different kinds of migration. They will have to do server migration, database migration, application migration. Okay, and then how you can do it. So there are a lot of services. There are methods available in all the cloud providers. Like you have Azure Migrate in Microsoft Azure for seamless migration of apps, DBs, and servers into Azure. Plus, you can go with DMS, database migration service in AWS, and application migration and server migration. You can do it there as well. Then regarding performance testing, so of course, there are a lot of tools, services available for doing the testing also. Okay, and it can be automated as well. So that again is there for the cloud workloads. And with identity and access management, this identity and access management is nothing but a service to create different users in the cloud. I'll just quote a simple example. Let's say there's an organization, like right now I'm in Hyderabad giving the training in TCS for AWS. So I could see my participants today. The learners for the TCS company has created different accounts. Okay, so they are having a root account, and then for the learning purpose for their employees, they have created different IAM accounts, IAM user accounts. So that is the role of an administrator, and then they use the services of the cloud, let's say AWS, and then the AWS will charge the company root account on that. So you can create user accounts, you can grant them permissions, like the network administrator will just have access to networking resources, the database administrator will just have access to database resources. Like that, you can provide the permissions to those users, and yes, that is all possible with the help of identity and access management. Then auto scaling, as rightly said, Amazon Prime Days, Great Indian Sale, Big Billion Days. During that time, the auto scaling is the feature for horizontally increasing the number of VMs when the load increases, so that the website performance doesn't deteriorate or the website doesn't goes down. So let's say if there are 100 servers running and the load on them, CPU utilization of those 100 servers goes above 80-90%, then more number of servers are added to cope up to that additional load. So of course, and this way, the website performance is always maintained. Correct. And when the sale days are over, when the load is reduced on the website, so these additional what you call it as servers, they would be automatically terminated as well. So downscaling also happens automatically, so that you are not charged for those additional servers when they are not in use. Okay. So that is there. Plus, apart from there, there can be disaster recovery services. So you can actually, like in disaster recovery, you can actually copy your data or your servers in another region also. Okay. So let's say if A is your primary region, you can copy the data or services in B region also, so that tomorrow, God forbid, if there is a natural calamity and then the entire region goes down, then also you can have access to your data or the servers from another region. So that's the beauty of the cloud. That's why they say that people may die, but the data won't die. Okay. So that is, so you have good services, like you have recovery services vault in Azure to take care of that thing. Plus in AWS also, you have cross-region application services available that can take care of that thing. Then you have web services and API. Of course, in cloud, you can create your web servers, and then you have DNS service to assign the names to them. And then you can use the application programming interface to access them. Then, of course, cloud migration and deployment. So as I said, you can do the database migration. server migration, application migration of your on-premises services, of your on-premises servers into the cloud. Correct. And you have a lot of mechanisms like before migration. You can do the discovery of those on-premises services. You can assist them, and once they are ready, you can migrate them into the cloud. So
Go ahead.
That's what you can do. So it's a plan process. It's not like database management. As I told you, you can do the management of the databases, non-relational databases, and as I told you before, normally into multiple clouds, they are using the services of multiple clouds, and that's why in our program also we are not just teaching one cloud platform.
Yeah, you may. Oh, we lost Purushottam. I think his network is a little bit.
Yeah,
wonky.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No worries. But yeah, so we basically have
just disconnecting.
No worries. That happens to me.
Yeah.
Fairly frequently sometimes. But thank you.
Actually, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'll just finish. So
you might want to cut off your video. Just audio only for.
Of course, like Azure, GCP. Normally, the company video not visible. Is it visible now?
Your video is visible, but you might want to turn it off so that your bandwidth is better for the voice.
Okay, sure. Correct. Yeah. So in multi-cloud deployment, actually deploy multiple clouds. I mean, and that's why we are teaching. Like in our program, we are teaching not just one cloud platform, but we are teaching multiple cloud platforms like the market leading platforms, AWS, Azure, and GCP. And of course, you have storage services. You have the storage services for object-based data, flat files, the block-based data. Thank you.
Okay. All right. And I'm going to move on to the next topic here. So let's ask a question of our audience. You're all here because you're interested in careers in cloud computing, and we assume that you've looked at different. We've assumed you looked at different programs. What has stopped you from taking a cloud computing certification or training program up till now? What is it that you didn't find that you felt you needed? And you can answer more than one of these answers. I'm going to leave this open for another 15 seconds. You get your answers in. I will close this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So hit the submit button, and here are the results. And the main concern that most of you have is, can you find a program that's fully comprehensive? It's going to cover all the skills that Purushottam discussed. Will you find a program that gives you practical exposure, examples that demonstrate your new skills, a program that isn't just watching videos, and a program that fits your schedule? So you share those results with you. This is what you said. We'll move on to a recap here. So you can see that the ideal kind of a program for this type of skilling is something that's comprehensive, where the learning path is aligned with the needs of industry, where the integrated labs and hands-on projects give you practical experience. Purushottam, how important is that for picking up these kinds of skills?
See, it is very, very important. I'll tell you, because I'm teaching with Simplilearn here, so I can tell you that this is a very comprehensive program, and of course, comprehensive with industry aligned learning paths. So hands-on lab experience, project experience is very much required, because there are two things when you're learning cloud computing. First is you learn for the certification, to gain the certification. Of course, that is also very much required. And the other aspect is that you should be industry ready, or if you are into industry, then you should have that experience, or the real-time experience, so that you can work on the projects, so that you can solve the real-time problems. And that comes in with the hands-on activities, the hands-on labs, the scenario-based labs, the projects. And that's why while we teach, like, let's say if I teach, so I take up the real-time examples during my class, plus the hands-on projects and the scenario-based lab, not just the labs, but the scenario-based lab, so that it is like end-to-end real use cases, real-time labs are taken, so that it gives the real-time experience to my audience, and they are prepared for the real-time the real-time hands-on in their offices, on their projects in the real life.
Right. And you mentioned audiences, and that's an important aspect of the program as well, because, it's not like, when I was a kid, we used to get kits. Some of them would mail to us on a subscription. Some of them would pick up at the store, but it would be a science fair project kit or that type of thing. It would have all the pieces you'd need to do a hands-on project, and it would have an instruction sheet. But it wouldn't have a person who could guide you through and answer questions if something was unclear in the instructions. Whereas in this program, got the online classroom where Purushottam or one of the other instructors is working with you each week and taking you through the examples, so that you don't have to figure out which parts go together and how to fit them. Get a mentor who's showing you how that works, right? And so that, what's a typical week in the program? You prepare with study materials, then you have the class, and then you do your labs and projects that are independent before next week's class. But
can you come again, please?
I was going to say the typical cycle for a week in this program would be you do some of the independent reading and watch videos that prepare you for the week's topic. Then you go to your live classes, go through the examples with you or the other instructors, and then the student does their own labs and projects after that to complete the assignments, right? Are you able to hear me?
Stuart, actually, for me, I think it's just break a bit. Maybe okay. Can you come again? Sorry.
No, I think instead of me reciting it, could you tell us what it's like, just briefly, why the classroom is so important, and how you prepare for that?
Give me one moment. Let me just connect with another net connection. Will that be okay?
Yes, certainly.
Because I think I'm not getting a connection here. Can you just give me a minute?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yeah, sorry for the technical difficulties here. This is something that we're all used to after the last several years of working remotely. So. It's also an illustration of why cloud engineering is important. We want our cloud services to be reliable. Okay.
Yeah, I think now it should be good. Actually, I am actually working from hotel room. So the Wi-Fi here was not good. Now I've connected my Geo-Fi device. So now I think I'm good. Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much.
So
my question was, the way it works with the virtual classrooms is you do some pre-work as a student, as a learner. You do some pre-work during the week to prepare for the class. Then you go through the class exercises, and then you do your independent labs and projects afterward. Is that pretty much the cycle for each week?
Correct. Exactly. So see, what happens is, it's like when I'll give the demo of LMS, maybe I'll show this as well.
Right.
That you have the self-learning videos. So from there you can prepare. Plus, the instructor can give you the prior material that you can prepare before coming to the class. Okay, and then during the class, while the live class is going on and the instructor is teaching you the content, so you are aware about the basics of that content. So you can concentrate more, and then you can ask the questions. And we follow the practice of, like, I personally follow it, that no question should go unanswered. Okay, so yes, so that way the questions are taken and they are answered. And then, of course, you get those hands-on lab on the real-time labs. And then after that, you can be given some assignment from the instructor as and when required. Okay, and so that's how it goes. Yeah. So the very good advantage of live learning class is that you get the real-time examples, you get the real-time experience, plus the instructor is there to solve your real-time queries. Yeah, then and there itself.
Right. And the platform is available 24/7, which means that, yes, you have some scheduled classes, and you can pick the class schedule that fits your particular weekly rhythm, so that you can pick weekend classes or weeknight classes. But the rest of the work that you do can be done anytime, 24/7. So you can fit it into whatever schedule and whatever time you have available. And that's all wrapped up in this postgraduate program in cloud computing, which is designed and issued by Caltech, Center for Technology and Management Education, and we at Simplilearn deliver it through our platform. It's an 11-month program. Say you should be able to devote 10 to 15 hours a week over that 11 months to this program. So it's not trivial, but it is something that you can schedule into the lifestyle of a working professional. It meets all the requirements of the industry-aligned learning path and the hands-on environment, the live virtual classrooms. And at the end of the process, you receive your certification from Caltech. So they monitor our program, they oversee us and make sure that we're delivering it to their specifications so that they can put their name on that certificate. You have more than 40 projects that you've done along the way over that 11-month period, including a capstone, which we'll talk about. You also receive 30 continuing education units, up to 30 from Caltech, if you are in a field where you need to show your employer or a licensing body that you're taking continuing education. CEUs are the standard measurement of continuing education work that these bodies and employers accept. You get membership in the online Caltech Circle, which is a virtual alumni association for people who've taken Caltech CTME programs. And you can network with them over your lifetime and go to their programs that Caltech puts on for that group. You'll have an online convocation where you can have your friends and family watch you get recognized by name for completing the program. And Simplilearn provides job assist for people complete the program, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes as well. So I want to mention Caltech, and hope that everybody's heard of Caltech. But Caltech is the California Institute of Technology. It is not part of the University of California system. It is not part of the California State University system. It's an independent private institution, been around for over 130 years, and it specializes in graduate studies and research. So this is where a number of people did their research to win the Nobel Prize. This is where a number of people who've won the Nobel Prize have come to continue the research. So this is a extremely prestigious institution, and it is also one of the highest concentrations of brilliant people in the world. And it is the home to a number of different research labs, including the Jet Propulsion Laboratory of NASA, where at Caltech they build space probes and satellites that are launched into space to do scientific research. So it's really an amazing place. It consistently ranks in the top 5 universities worldwide, and the CTME was designed to take all of this impressive knowledge and all these skills and translate them into a form that people can use in industry. So companies were coming to Caltech and saying, we want our people to be able to do some of the things that you've learned, some of the skills that you have. They formed Caltech's Center for Technology and Management Education to do that, to provide the programs. And we're very proud that they chose Simplilearn to help them deliver several of their important digital programs. So, eligibility and prerequisites. Purushottam, you don't have to have a programming background in order to succeed in this program. Is that correct?
Here. So programming background is not essential. Okay. Because you learn the basics of cloud first, then you learn. So in basics of cloud, you don't need programming language, programming knowledge, and then in the architect level, again, programming knowledge is not required that much. Correct. And then apart from that, in developer associate, yes, maybe the programming knowledge is somewhat is required, correct, for AWS developer or Azure developer associate, but that is an elective anyways. But the compulsory courses that you have for that, programming language is not a necessary requirement. So you may be from a non-programming background, but still you can opt for this program. Okay. Yeah. So
and you'll pick up the skills that you need in order to be able to succeed in the program during the program itself. So we designed it so that as you build up your skills, you build up the ability to succeed in each successive part of the program. But you do have to come in with a bachelor's degree. This is an established requirement from Caltech. And so you either have to have your bachelor's degree or you have to have the award of your bachelor's degree scheduled for some time during the 11-month program, so that by the time you finish the program, you need to have your bachelor's degree in hand. So that's a requirement. You do not have to come in with work experience. You can come straight out of school if you don't have work experience. But work experience always helps so that you can understand the context of how to use these cloud skills in a working environment. So we're going to talk about how this program prepares you. And before Purushottam shows how the learning management system actually works, can we just go through what the modules are, and you'll be able to then show how they fit into the learning management system, Purushottam?
Yes, sure. So basically, see, so about these modules, correct?
Yeah. The first one's just the online orientation that
correct.
helps people understand how to use the system and what classes they'll be taking and where to find them and so forth. But once you've completed that, then you move into AWS Solutions Architect. So,
correct. So I'll go through it.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So see, in the orientation session for cloud computing program, you get the orientation session. And I think the orientation session is taken by the faculty from Caltech itself. Correct. So they take this orientation session from Caltech University. A faculty takes this orientation session of yours for cloud computing program. Then you go into, and these are the compulsory subjects that you have to clear. That is AWS Solutions Architect Associate. You learn this. So in this, you learn about the basics of AWS plus the architect level knowledge of AWS. So you get prepared for AWS Solutions Architect course here. And in this course, you talk about the security aspect, the storage, the databases, the IAM, identity and access management users aspect, the core services, the application services like SNS, SQS, SES, And apart from that, some advanced services. So that consists of your AWS Solutions Architect program. Okay, networking service and so on. Right, the DNS service. So they form the AWS Solutions Architect course. Then you move and then you start studying Microsoft Certified Azure Administrator, that is AZ104. The code is, so as I said, we take up multiple clouds so that you are prepared, because today is the era of multi-cloud platforms. So once you have studied AWS, and then you studied then when you study Microsoft Azure, so normally the instructor tells you the comparison also. So okay, if let's say for creating virtual machines in AWS you have EC2 service, so in Azure you have a VM service in Azure, and plus other comparisons as well. Okay. So that is there. So in Microsoft Certified Azure Administrator, that is AZ104, you learn about different services that an administrator needs, that is, or even an architect needs. That is about the storage, the networks, the compute, and so on. Right. So there are a lot of services that you study in this, plus about the recovery services vault. The site recovery services. Okay, so they are a part of Microsoft Certified Azure Administrator, and then you go and study about Azure Infrastructure Solutions, that is AZ1305. Okay, so this is like after doing this, you become the architect. If you clear the exam, you become Azure architect. Okay, and in this you study from the architect perspective the different services like storage, the databases, the virtual machines, and so on. There are several services out there, the migration service, and so on. Okay, and guys, once you clear all these, like once you complete all these courses, so and you submit the project assignments, projects plus assignment, plus you maintain your attendance. So after that, for every course, you get a certificate from Simplilearn. And then you have a cloud computing capstone project that will mix, or that will include the services from AWS, Azure, both, and that would be from multi-clouds. And based on that, a project is formed, and you have an instructor would guide you and would mentor you for that project. And then you have to do that project, and you submit that, and then you get the coveted this thing, that is the Caltech certificate, postgraduate program in cloud computing from Caltech University, Caltech USA, which is, I think, ranks second topmost in the world. Okay, so that's there. And of course, apart from this, you have these electives. So these electives are not the compulsory subjects. So even if you don't take this, you still can get the Caltech certificate in cloud computing from Caltech University USA, postgraduate program certificate. But if you want to learn these electives, of course, you should be learning. So these are also available in the program fees itself. So you can go with these program electives, like you can go with DevOps on Cloud, Google Cloud Platform Architect Training as well, AWS Data Migration, SysOps Associate, Developer Associate, Microsoft Certified Azure Associate, and Caltech Cloud Computing Academic Masterclass as well. Correct. So these are the electives that you can even opt for. And guys, in almost all of these subjects, except few electives, you have both these options. Like you can go with the self-learning videos, that are the videos from some instructor, already pre-recorded videos. Plus there will be live learning classes that of course will help you in the real time, and you can get your doubts solved as well. So yeah, that is how it goes. Thank you.
And the electives, as you mentioned, Purushottam, are included in the course fee, so you don't have to pay extra to take any of these electives. Take as many as you have time for and have interest in. And we especially recommend the Caltech academic masterclasses, because you get to hear from Caltech instructors about new and emerging topics in cloud computing. So it's a really exciting option. As we go into the demo, Purushottam will show you how you access and use these different tools in the learning. Oops, excuse me. But I just wanted to mention this because there's all sorts of different tools that you have to use and be proficient with, and on all the different platforms you use. And so it's really important to have that hands-on experience and know that for a particular problem or challenge, which tools to use and how to use them. So that's really an important aspect of the course, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah. So let's say if you want to store your object-based data, let's say your flat files, images, audios, videos, text data, you want to do it in AWS. Okay, so which service you can go for? You can use the S3 service, that is Simple Storage Service in AWS. Okay. Then if you have block-based data, you want to install operating system or some softwares on your storage, the operating system files or some software. So you can go with block-based storage like EBS, Elastic Block Storage in AWS. Plus you have some shared file storage, like you want to share a storage among your different machines, among your different EC2 instances, among your different VMs. So you can make use of file share storage like EFS or FSX storage, Elastic File Storage in AWS. Plus in Azure, you can go with Azure files for that purpose. Block blobs for object-based data. Okay, and page blob for block-based data. So that is there. Plus, if you want to have some computations, if you want to do some computations and you don't want to create a server, you want to just write a function and perform some computations. You want to do serverless computing. So you can go with AWS Lambda service in AWS. In Azure, you can go with Azure Functions. Okay. Then if you want to use the NoSQL DB, okay, you have NoSQL data like without relations like Excel spreadsheet data. So you can go with NoSQL databases like Amazon DynamoDB in AWS, Cosmos DB in Azure. Correct. So that's what you can go with. But and then if you want to, let's say you want to you want to do compute, you want to create your virtual machines in cloud, the servers in cloud, and you want to do the computations there. So you can go with EC2 service that is offered to you in an infrastructure as a service mode. EC2 in AWS, Elastic Compute Cloud, and in Azure you have VMs in Azure to take care of that. Correct. So that's there. Plus you have Azure Resource Manager. Yeah.
Yeah, so all of these different tools are things that you learn how to use, and you learn how to use them by doing exercises with them. And then, as Purushottam described, the end of the course, you do a capstone project, usually 3 to 4 weeks, right?
Correct. At the end of the project. So probably when, as I said, during this 11 months program, when they'll be finishing off with their compulsory courses like the orientation program, then AWS Certified Architect Associate, then Microsoft Azure Administrator, then Microsoft Azure Architect. Then at the end, they do this capstone project. Okay, because the skills of all those courses would be required for completing this capstone project. Wherein this capstone project will mimic the real life business scenarios for true experience that you can showcase in your portfolios, in your resume, and that can really attract the employers. Okay. Yeah. So
there's a few examples of the kinds of projects that you'd be called on to do. You could choose from, doing a simulated video application, healthcare, restaurant hospitality or e-commerce. You pick whichever the areas interest you most and sound like the most interesting challenge to solve, and then solve that problem. These are examples of the kinds of projects that you'd be doing in the course. So at the end of the process, you'll be able to point to this, and this is how you solved the problem, how you built the solution, and point potential employers or your current employer at this set of skills that you now have. So that's a really fantastic thing. We provide a support environment through the Simplilearn aspect of the program that gives you the maximum chance of success. So we have a program manager who's assigned to work with Caltech and make sure that we're delivering to their standard. Then when you join the program, you join on a particular date with a number of other people, and that becomes your cohort. So there's a success manager assigned to that cohort to help you as a group and as individuals succeed and keep up with each other. Of course, your instructors shepherd you through each course, and you can draw on the help and experience of your peers in the class, the other members of your cohort, and of course the curriculum and resources are designed to help you to succeed and to get the support you need. So all of that acts as kind of an environment or ecosystem to help you do your best in the course. So at this point, I'd like to ask Purushottam to go ahead and show us what the learning management system itself looks like.
Sure. Right, Stuart. So I'll just share my screen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Kindly give me the access. Okay. Now I have it. I have it. Yeah. I have it. Okay. Let me just a second. Yeah.
That's visible to us?
Yeah. Okay. Here it goes. I hope it's visible.
Yeah.
Fine. So as I've already switched on the postgraduate program in cloud computing. Okay. As you can see here. And as you can see in this program, you have, first of all, the prerequisites tab. Okay, so prerequisites anyways has been talked about by Stuart. If you have some good knowledge on, some basic knowledge on operating systems and computer networks, that is of help. Otherwise, without that also the instructors would cover that. Then coming to the courses part, you have the orientation session, as I told you initially. Okay, that is the first thing that you have here, that is orientation session. In that, you'll have a live class. Okay, plus in that also you have the self-learning content here. Okay, so self-learning video would be there, already pre-recorded video, correct? So that would be there. And in the live class, of course, you can attend the live class from the Caltech professor here in the orientation program, correct? And after this, you will get a certificate for this. That is this particular program. If you attend that class, you will get that certificate. Okay. Then this is the first thing. When you join in this program, this is the first thing that you'll have to take up. Then you take up the first course, that is on AWS Solutions Architect Associate. So if you go inside this course, again in this, if you can see, there is the section of self-learning videos. So they are the pre-recorded videos from some instructor, okay, that are already there. You can learn from it on the different topics of AWS Solutions Architect. And then there are live classes. In live classes tab, what you will see is the lecture recording of your live classes that you can have it on maybe weekends or that is on Saturday, Sundays, morning, evenings. So you will see the recordings of those live classes here in the live classes section. Okay. Then after this, you have this assessment part. So in assessment part, you can see there are assignments that you can solve. Okay. And plus there are the projects. So after every course, like AWS course, after you do it, you have a course end project. So you have multiple course end projects, and you can do one of them or you can do all of them also. But the mentor, the instructor will help you, will mentor you on one of these projects or maybe more than one of these projects. But let me tell you, you will have to, for getting the certificate here, you will have a requirement. That is, you will have to complete one of that project plus one of the assignment that is given, that may be given to you, one test with 60% marks, and you have to complete one project out of these 4 projects. And of course, in which the instructor, the mentor will help you out. And then you also have to complete either 85% of live learning videos. I repeat, either 85% of live learning videos, or you need to attend or more sessions of your live learning classes. Correct. So that is what you need to do. And if you achieve this particular criteria, then you'll be able to unlock your certificate for AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate from Simplilearn. Okay. And of course, as far as the labs are concerned, now see, when it comes to cloud, AWS, Azure, so you need to have access to labs. So do you really need to create your personal accounts with your debit cards? So the answer is no. So see, this is one of the advantage of Simplilearn, wherein many other people may not provide you this thing, but Simplilearn provides you the practice labs. Okay, so you have access to the sandbox environment here. You can just launch the lab and you can start doing the labs from these Simplilearn labs, and it has a support for AWS, Azure, all these labs. Okay, so you can just start that portal from this launch lab section, and you can start doing the lab. And you don't have to create then your personal lab, your personal account, and you will not be charged for that. Okay, so this is again there. Okay, so this is there, and yeah, so these are the things for every course that you will see here. So this is for AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate, and similarly, so this is the second program, and then you once you complete this, then you can go for the third one, that is Microsoft Azure Administrator AZ104, as already said. So in this AZ104 Microsoft Azure Administrator Associate, you will again have the self-learning videos, as I told you, by some instructor. Then the live learning classes, in which you will see the recordings of your live classes. Then, of course, the assessment part of it, wherein you can see the assignments plus the projects. Plus, there is reference material section, which I forgot to tell you guys. So you can see the ebooks, the projects, the lab guide, the practices, cheat sheet, all out here. Okay, you can download it as well on your system, and you can download and use it from your system, correct? So see, this is getting downloaded on my system, ebooks.zip. Okay, plus the so apart from this material, the instructor is taking up some extra material. He can share it in with you. Also, he will share it with you as well. Correct. And yes, so here also for Azure, also you have the practice labs like for AWS. So you don't need to create an Azure account to do the labs. You don't need to create your personal account. You can start using it from these Simplilearn labs, the Azure labs. And then, of course, in the certificate section, so you need to, the similar criteria kind of, you need to complete either 80% of or more sessions of live learning class and 85% of self-learning videos. And of course, you have to complete one project to get this Azure Administrator Associate certification from Simplilearn. And then you move to the next course, that is Designing Microsoft Azure Infrastructure Solutions, AZ305. And again, the same criteria follows here. You have self-learning videos. Then you have the live classes. Okay, self-learning videos consist of pre-recorded sessions of some good trainer. Then you have the live learning live classes, where you find the lecture recordings of an instructor, of your instructor who takes your live classes. Then you have the assessment section. Of course, in that, again, you have the different projects and the assignments you can opt for. You have to complete at least one project again here. So instructor will help you out in that, will mentor you in that. And then you have the reference materials here also. You can download it and use it. And here also you have the practice labs. And of course, you'll be able to unlock your certificate once you attend 80% or more sessions of your live classes or 85% of self-learning videos, plus you complete the project. So that's there. So after this course, once you complete this course, then you come up with what? Then you come up with the cloud computing capstone project. Okay, so in this cloud computing capstone project, okay, so in this cloud computing capstone project, if you go inside, you will find again the self-learning video plus the live class. Okay, and that will contain the lecture recording of the mentoring session that an instructor will take for you to complete this particular project. And that is the capstone project. Plus you will have the assessment that you can go with. So you have to complete one of these capstone project. Okay, and reference material is there. The practice lab is there, which helps you to open the lab. And then you can unlock your certificate if you attend the 80% or more sessions of that mentoring session, plus if you complete one project out of it. And of course, in the labs, you have access to Azure labs also and AWS labs also, because this is the capstone project. that can include Azure services also plus AWS services also. So it will be a mix of both so that you get a real-time experience of how you can use multi-clouds together. Okay, so that would be there. And so these are the necessary things that you have to go through. And once you complete all of this, guys, then you get the coveted PG program certificate from Caltech University. Okay, and yes, so you get that. Plus, as said, as rightly said by Stuart, that these are the compulsory courses. Then there are electives which are also available to you in the same program fees. You're not charged extra for that. And in that, you can go for electives. You can go for one or as many as you like. And again, in all those electives, you have the similar things like self-learning videos and the live learning classes that are being taken care of. In some of the electives, you may find just self-learning videos, but in others, you will find the live learning classes as well. Like here, for CTME Cloud Computing Masterclass, you find the self-learning plus live videos, okay, live class. Then you have this Azure Developer Associate, AWS Developer Associate, AWS SysOps Associate, AWS Database Migration, Google Cloud Platform Architect, DevOps on AWS, correct? So all of these are here. And of course, for every course that you complete, you will get a certificate out of it as well. Okay, for that particular course as well, that you can have it. Correct. So again, for getting the certificate, you will have the similar kind of criteria, okay, that mentioned for the compulsory courses for electives as well. Okay, so that would be there, and that is how you go about it. Yeah.
Can you show us the community feature of the?
Yes. Yeah, sure. So see, this is the program certificate. So see, once you have done with the elective courses, and if you can take the electives, you can do that. But once you complete the compulsory courses, then you can actually unlock, or you can meet the, once you meet that criteria, you complete the compulsory courses. So you'll be able to unlock your postgraduate program in cloud computing certificate from here, from the Caltech University. Correct. So that's there. And yes, coming to the community feature. So if you go to this community feature here, so guys, Simplilearn has created a community here. So when you are in that course, you can actually interact with your peers, with your other learners in that course through this community. Plus the instructor can communicate with you on this community. Plus you can share additional materials, additional links also on this community, apart from the standard content that you will have. Plus if you have any doubts, any difficulties during the week time, like during the live class, you can ask to the instructor. Plus during the week time, if you come across any difficulty while you are practicing, or while you are reviewing the concept, so you can put it on this community, and then the team from Simplilearn or the instructor can answer to your queries. Okay, so or your peers can also answer to your queries. Correct. So you can create a thread, and then you can put your queries onto this community as well. Correct. So you can interact, and this is a very good platform to interact with your peers and get your doubts solved, and with Simplilearn team as well. Yep. Okay. So this is there, and apart from this community, there is this, I think the My Resources section. Of course, here you can see the different webinars. I think you can see here mine gone, and then this on 29th June. So you can have access to that. And this, of course, you can have access, and you can visit, and you can listen to these as well. Apart from this, there is this help support. You can raise a ticket with Simplilearn team, and they'll be available for you to answer your queries. You can chat with them, and you can open the tickets, and they will get back to you. They will solve your issues. Okay, if at all, if there are any. Okay, and yeah, so that's there. Yeah, I think I'm not missing on anything now. Right?
No, I think that you covered everything. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Welcome always.
I'm going to go ahead and go back to the presentation. So I'll take back the screen.
Yeah, and I think the support is also available for, I think, most of the time, correct?
Yeah, support, the help desk is 24/7. So
24/7. Yeah, I was thinking of that only.
anytime that you are available, you have a question. If you're working at 3 o'clock in the morning on a project, have a question or there's a glitch, then you can access the help desk. If you want to talk with your peers, your instructor, and you put a question into the forum, they'll see it when they access the community forum. So that may take a little bit longer unless other people are up at the same time as you at 3 o'clock in the morning. So
Correct. Yeah.
thank you for this. And I just wanted to mention the people who oversee the program from the Caltech side. So Rick Hafner is the Caltech CTME Executive Director in charge of all of their programs. John Wetch is specific program director for this program. And we report to them in terms of the quality of the curriculum, the quality of the delivery of the curriculum. They put, as we said, their name on the certificate. So they monitor and control us very carefully in that aspect. Talk a little bit about learner outcomes. So the people that you'll be learning alongside in your program are people coming, a lot of them will be working professionals coming from other backgrounds. So they'll come from companies like you see here, IBM or Abbott Laboratories or Barclays Bank. People coming from information technology and software, certainly, but also from banking, financial institutions, e-commerce, industrial applications, healthcare, pretty much every sector of the economy, every industry sector, because cloud computing, as we discussed earlier, is pervasive. It's everywhere in every type of company and organization. So you'll be getting the opportunity to learn from and network with experience from other people. That's one of the great things about this kind of program with live classes, isn't it, Purushottam?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the beauty. Like you have people like cloud is everywhere. Like you talk about any industry because see, at the end of the day, infrastructure is required for any market, like any industry, whether it is a grocery store, simple, whether it is e-commerce company, whether it is any sort of company, whether it is software product, information technology, any company needs the infrastructure. And when they need the infrastructure, why they would need it to maintain by themselves? If cloud providers are there to manage and maintain it for them, and they can concentrate on their business only, correct? Their core business. So yeah, cloud computing prevails everywhere. Okay, so yeah, that's the beauty.
And that's why all of these different companies need people who act as that point of interface between the cloud providers they're using and the business that the organization is doing, so that you as the cloud professional provide that connection between the resources on the one side and the need on the other. That's really what drives the demand for people in this industry. You can go on our website, and I'll share that URL in a few minutes, but you can see a video of Ravin's experience and testimonial about his experience with this program and how it helped him develop his independent consultancy business. That's very exciting. You can see here Jumana on the right, was able to come back from a career break and get a 50% salary hike, which is a pretty excellent result. And Rajiv, of course, was extremely pleased because he also got a good salary hike, although he didn't tell us what it was. But we would love to be able to add you to this roster of people, and you'll see a number of other testimonials on our site as well.
In fact, Rajiv was my learner only.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Some people have asked, I mentioned the Job Assist program. Job Assist, Simplilearn career service for India learners. We also make it available in the United States. I apologize if you're joining from a different region or country, because we don't have that available there yet, but we are working on that. But within India, within the US, you get access to a premium job board, different in each of those two countries, but it's similar services that get you exclusive job listings and a discreet and confidential place to do your job search, so that you don't have to expose it to your current employer. You also get really important services, resume review and rewrite, which allow you to tailor your resume to pass through the automated tracking systems and AI bots that first screening of resumes these days. Format your resume so that those systems can access your skills, your experience, and match them up to the job description, and then still maintain the resume's attractiveness to the human beings who will see it. So that's a really important kind of art form, and you get to work with a writer who will take you through a couple of rounds of resume rewrite to get you in the best shape. Similarly, the one-on-one interview service, because you have to pass phone screens, you have to do technical interviews with people who might be your new peers or your new supervisor, and then you have to also pass the cultural fit interview. Talks about whether you fit in with the organization, whether you're a team player, and that type of thing. And all of those require you to put a different aspect of yourself front and center in the interview. So being able to practice each of those types of interviews with a real human being is a valuable aspect of the service. This is not a job placement service. This is a career assist service. So we're not guaranteeing that you will get placed, or we're not taking responsibility for placing you, but we are giving you the tools to let you put your best self forward for the job search and to help you find opportunities. So this extends for 6 months after you get your Caltech certificate. So you've completed the program over the 11 month. If you want to dip into these services during those 11 months, you can do that. And then for an additional 6 months, you get to use these services as much or as little as you prefer. At this point, I want to ask a question based on what you've heard so far, just on what you've heard so far. Are you interested in enrolling in this program? I'll leave this open for just about 15 seconds total. I'll close this in about 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And 3/4 of our audience are interested. So I'm going to share with you the steps that includes the cost. The enrollment steps. First, email us at askus@simplilearn.net. I'm going to put into the chat that email address just for your convenience. Hold on a second. Just the chat here. But once you email us, we will verify your educational credentials, making sure that you got the bachelor's degree. We'll also look at any other qualifications you want to share with us, including any work experience you might have that you think is relevant, any other types of information. Once we send you that admission letter, you can get enrolled. And the next cohort starts in just a few weeks with the orientation session on 18 July and the classes starting 22 July. So we recommend that you get in touch with us right away, because we limit these cohorts to about 25 to 30 people in order to make sure that each instructor can give sufficient attention to all of the students. So if you're interested in getting started with us, July cohort, please reach out to us now and we'll get started in the process. If you have any other questions, please reach out to us. And mention the price of the course. I'm giving you the price in India. This course is available in many other countries as well, and you can see the pricing or ask us at ask.us@simplylearn.net for the local pricing. In India, it is 1,59,000, and the financing EMI basis is as low as 5,411 a month, low interest rate, and so we hope that will fit into your budget. Again, we recommend that you hurry, and we do have bonus offer for you. So when you contact us at ask.us@simplylearn.net, you'll be given information on how to claim a discount coupon for the July cohort. So if you decide to join us for the July classes, we're going to offer you a discount. And you'll learn about that from the learning consultants at ask.us@simplylearn.net. So for those of you who said you're interested, and based on what you now know, how soon would you like to enroll? Are you looking at the July cohort, or would you look at August, September, or do you want to plan further down the road? This open for another 10 seconds. Close this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and share the results. And about 40%, a little more than a third of our audience are interested in starting in July or maybe August, September. And for those of you looking further down the road, please do contact us at ask.us@simplylearn.net, because that will let us keep in touch with you, let you learn about future cohorts of the program, and also answer any other questions you have. And we have questions about the discount, but that will be answered if you contact us at ask.us@simplylearn.net. Let me move on. We're going to do the questions and answers. And I am going to stop the screen share so that you can talk to us rather than talking to the slide. All right. And I'm going to start with the questions from the question and answer as opposed to the chat. So Nitin has a question for you, Purushottam. How is learning cloud computing helpful for somebody who's data science or machine learning? Why is cloud a valuable addition to that skill set?
Okay. Sure. So see, of course, a data science engineer or machine learning engineer, you have the services for these domains also in cloud, like a very popular service in AWS recognition. Okay. Plus there are other services for machine learning that supports the machine learning engineers. So you get the tools and technologies out there that will help the machine learning engineer to do their job really easy in the cloud platform, correct? Apart from that, of course, so that helps the data science and the machine learning engineer. So as I said, see, cloud is an ocean. Okay. So you have a support for all the different types of role, whether you are into blockchain, you are into robotics, you are into IoT, you are into machine learning side, you are into AI, artificial intelligence. It has got an answer for all. It has got services for all, especially the market leaders like AWS and Azure. Yeah. So that way it is really useful for you.
Yeah. And one of the interesting aspects of AI and machine learning is that the models need data, and the more data they get, the more accurate and the more valuable they become. And so understanding the cloud environment where that data is going to come from and how it's going to be collected from sources that may be around the world in different locations, different industries, different environments, that's a really powerful addition to your skill set for that.
Correct. I would like to add here, there is like, if you can see Amazon Go technology, that was launched in Seattle, USA. So that is built on machine learning algorithms and the center fusion and your computer vision. Okay, so how it basically works, like you can just tap and go in any of the malls, and then you can take the products, put it in your basket. As soon as you put it, it would be added to your cart. And if you think of removing some item from your basket, as soon as you remove it, it would be removed from your cart. And then at the end, when you just go, you don't have to queue in the lines. You don't have to wait. You can just keep walking, and you just tap on your phone and you pay. So that's the beauty. I mean, that behind the scene, they are using those machine learning algorithms to actually achieve that.
Yeah, and that's a great example of how what you develop in the machine learning side then has to be deployed in the real world. So understanding how that is deployed out on the cloud to the different stores that have Amazon Go technology to the different users. Yeah.
In fact, the video is available on the YouTube. I have it in my slide also. If you wish, I can show it as well, if required. Otherwise, not.
Yeah, we won't show it today, but if people reach out to you, they can ask you for that.
Sure. Or they can see it on YouTube, 2 minutes video. Just that. Yeah.
Deepak asks if this recording will be shared. Yes, we're going to share this link to this recording in a follow-up email. That'll also have information about the discount code. And is there a better, Nita has a follow-up question, is there a recommended or a better cloud platform for machine learning, or is basically, can you do it on any platform?
No, it's not like you can do it on any platform. It depends on the support that the cloud provider is providing to you for that. And let me tell you, AWS has got a great support. Like if you'll ask me about the monitoring services, so I mean, I would say better than Azure, the AWS has got better support for monitoring services. They are having better. So AWS has got very good services, like matured services for machine learning, even Azure has. So not every cloud provider you'll get those support. Okay, but these market leaders have it.
Yep. Gard Kumar asks about the whole list of tools, and you can take a look on our website. I will share that URL with you in just a couple minutes. So you can go to the program page for this on our website and see a fairly comprehensive listing of the different tools that are part of the program. But you can also download the syllabus and take a look there. It's really more than we can list on any one given page or document, because of the number of different tools, and we update the course regularly to include new things as they come out. You see new tools coming out all the time from both Amazon and from Azure, don't you?
Of course, plus apart from that, like I had already mentioned also, some of the core services and the application and advanced services that you would be learning in this particular courses, like the networking, the storage, the compute, the databases, the application services, migrations, recovery services. Yeah, those are all going to be a part of, plus additional services are also there. So as rightly stated by Stuart, you can always see on the page.
Yeah. We have an attendee who asks about the language requirement, and our instruction is delivered in English, so that we can reach the widest possible audience. Are there any tools that people can use to get other local languages for when they rewatch a video or that type of thing, or is that not available yet? Okay.
I don't think so. That is available. Yeah.
I apologize for that, but for our courses, you do need to be, you have a basic proficiency in English. Compulsory subjects in cloud computing, I think we talked about that, and we set up a core curriculum that takes you on through both AWS and Azure, and gives you a grounding in that, prepares you for their external certification tests. And you can see in the program, when you rewatch this video, you'll see the electives again. You can see that there are electives that will prepare you for a number of the other certifications they offer as well. How will this be helpful in the pharmaceutical domain? Purushottam, I have some ideas about that, but can you tell what your feelings are about application of cloud in pharmaceutical domain?
Yes, correct. Okay. So see, in pharmaceutical companies, first of all, you have to do a lot of R&D, research and development. Okay. So for that R&D purpose, let me tell you, Amazon or Azure have got specific virtual machine instances like Spot instances, which are offered at a very lower cost. Okay. If you'll compare them with on-demand or on-prem or reserved instances. So these instances, which are offered at very lower cost, can be used, and they are normally used because in that companies in R&D, you just need a lot of computations, and you're not worried whether the new instances are coming and the older one are going out because these instances can be evicted, preempted at any time also, but you're not worried about it. You just need a lot of computations at lower cost for their R&D purpose. So there, of course, Spot instances, Spot VMs in Azure or AWS can be used. Plus, apart from that, see, for your pharmaceutical companies also, you need the infrastructure. You need those servers. Okay, so of course, the cloud can be used for that, and the pharmaceutical companies can concentrate on their core business.
Yep. And I can give you an example from personal experience where I was recently in a field test of the new vaccine for respiratory syntactical virus, RSV, which was just approved this last year. So I was part of the study. I don't know whether I got the real vaccine or the placebo, but I can report to you I didn't get any head colds for the last couple of years, which was a pretty amazing thing for me. But to do this study, I had to report weekly through an app on my smartphone. So you have the cloud environment, resources, and applications that allow the thousands of people who are participants in the study to report their experiences, report weekly on whether they had any new symptoms. Then if they did, they have to report what they are and set up appointments to follow it up. And all of that is an example of how what used to require a lot of manual paper-based record keeping can be done through a cloud-based app delivered out to people's mobile devices. So cloud is changing each industry, and pharmaceuticals is no exception, in ways that we didn't invent. And Paresh Jain would like to see the video. If you could drop the link into the chat for that, if you happen to have that.
I don't directly have it. Actually, it is in my presentation, PPT,
oh, okay.
or else I will search it.
What search term would people use to find that in Google?
Sorry, what?
If somebody wants to do a YouTube search for that, what search term would they type in?
Amazon Go technology. They can just search for.
Okay, super.
Otherwise, I'm just searching. Anyways, nice experience. Good one to hear it from you. About the pharmaceutical company.
Yeah. And financial aid, also, there was a course about that. Do contact us and ask us at simplylearn.net. They'll be able to answer that question. I think that pretty much covers all of our Q&A. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to a final question for you in the audience. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm pasting that link, Amazon Go, in the chat window. Okay, I've just browsed it from the YouTube. Yeah, here is the link. I've pasted it for all.
Okay, perfect. And let me move past this slide. So one last question. If you would like us to reach out to you proactively, let us know and we'll contact you directly. Otherwise, you can contact us through either the web page or at askus@simplilearn.net. I will put into the chat the information about our web page as well while you're answering this question. To the chat it goes. All right, so now in the chat you have another copy of that email address, but you also have the URL for the program page, and also do check the link that Purushottam just dropped for the Amazon Go technology because it's fantastic. And I'll share the poll. So those of you who said yes, we will be contacting you. And oops, need to make this disappear here. And you had a comment, Purushottam?
Yeah. I think there are some chats in the chat window. May I take that one or two?
Yeah, go right ahead.
There's one Prinshu saying, sir, I'm a beginner. Could you please tell me how I can start with good knowledge? So see, I would suggest you to have some basic knowledge on operating systems and networks. If that you can have it, it would be good for you to join this program. If you don't have it, then also it would be covered in these courses somewhere here. And plus, when you join this, you can ask for the Linux self-learning videos also that the team can supply it to you. And yeah, you can get yourself prepared on that. Non-technical background people can enter the cloud. Of course, yes, as I told you, you can always enter the cloud platform. In fact, I know many people who are from non-IT background or from BTech in mechanicals, electricals, or not even BTechs joining the program and doing really good in the program. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is
we did have somebody who mentioned a mechanical background, and cloud computing for somebody in a mechanical background, you want to take a look at what the needs are and whether you want to stay in the mechanical domain, use your domain knowledge and add your digital skills to that, or whether you want to pivot into becoming a digital professional of some sort. But if you're going to stay in mechanical engineering, you might look at cloud computing, you might look at data science or AI and machine learning as areas to apply within the mechanical domain. So you have a lot of different options. And again, if you contact us, our learning consultant can actually go over some of those with you. So we want to thank Purushottam for being so generous with your time and your knowledge today. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Stuart. There are, okay, may I take this one or two more?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, but yeah, just one or two more. One is taking that IT admin on premises. Can I get a job on cloud engineer? Yes, of course you can. In fact, you can apply for the role of cloud administrator. And yeah, so minimum 6 years experience is not required actually for that. You can still apply for that. Okay, so that is there. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. And thank you again. And the QR code will take you to the URL that I shared for your convenience. I want to thank everybody here who joined us this evening or this morning if you happen to be elsewhere in the world. And we really appreciate your taking the time. We hope this is helpful in evaluating your decision to become a cloud computing professional. And we hope to welcome you into the learning community with Simplilearn and with Caltech CTME. With that, we conclude our webinar. So thank you again.
I would also like to add, Stuart here.
Go ahead.
Maybe, sorry, but not just any domain. Like even if you want to be an entrepreneur, even if you want to start up your own startup, a startup company, and if you are restricted on your budgets, if you don't have the infrastructure, well, you can start your company on cloud and in a piece of room like you can start your IT firm on cloud and use the servers on cloud, and that way you can really save on your capital expenditure, because there will be just operational expenditure. And from that perspective also, you should learn these skills, how you can operate into cloud. And of course, if you are into management role, then also you should learn these skills. So guys, it's not just for the IT engineers, it's for other players also. This cloud computing knowledge is really essential. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Stuart.
I was going to say, with that, let's conclude our webinar. And again, we hope to welcome you into our learning community. So